Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Baaton Baaton Mein in association with Rads Beauty Xpress. आज का हमारा टॉपिक है ग्लैमर। जैसे ही ग्लैमर की बात आती है तो हमें अपने बचपन के टीन एज दिन याद आ जाते हैं जब हमें किसी पे क्रश होता था या किसी को हमारे पे क्रश होता था। आज हम बात करेंगे जब हमारी शादी हो जाती है, चाहे मेल हो फीमेल हो, जिम्मेदारी आ जाती है, बच्चे हो जाते हैं, क्या ये ग्लैमर खत्म हो जाता है या खत्म हो जाना चाहिए, रहना चाहिए? क्या होता है शादी होने के बाद? लाइफ कितनी चेंज होती है, चाहे मेल हो फीमेल हो, सबकी लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ चेंज आता है। तो आज हम यही टॉपिक लेके आए हैं। आज की हमारी मॉडरेटर है मिसेस राधिका तेजपाल और हमारे पास 5 पैनलिस्ट हैं। इन सब का जो प्रोफेशनल इंट्रोडक्शन है वो राधिका जी करवाएंगी। मैं इन सबको पिछले 1 हफ्ते से जानती हूँ, जब से हमारा इस शो का हुआ कि हम इस टॉपिक पे बात करेंगे। तो जो जो मेरे स्क्रीन पे मुझे नज़र आ रहा है मैं उस हिसाब से बताती हूँ। रीता मैम को से मेरी बात होती है तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जैसे मैं एक एल्डरली अपनी मदर से बात कर रही हूँ और अपनी बड़ी सिस्टर से बात कर रही हूँ। मैं जितनी भी बकबक करती हूँ वो चुपचाप सुनती रहती हैं। तो आई विल लाइक टू से रीता जी के लिए पर्सनली कि इनमें बहुत पेशेंस है और ये लोगों की बात बहुत प्यार से सुनती है। सेकेंडली अब मैं आती हूँ रेशम जी के ऊपर। रेशम जी के लिए भी मैं ये कहूँगी कि आप इनसे बात करते हो तो आपको लगता है आप अपनी सारी प्रॉब्लम भूल जाते हो। मतलब इट्स समथिंग शी इज़ अ मेंटर टू मी। उसके बाद मैं आती हूँ अंकित जी के पास। अंकित जी, से मतलब मतलब मैं सबको फ़ोन से थ्रू ही जानती हूँ। मैं हफ्ता से बात कर रही हूँ। आई जस्ट फील कि जो आदमी काम करता है उसके कैरेक्टर्स में वो चीज़ें होती हैं। अंकित जी की एक पीआर एजेंसी भी है। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है जब भी मैं इनसे बात करती हूँ ये मेरी कार्यशाला फाउंडेशन या वी वुमेन ग्रुप के लिए कुछ ना कुछ एडवाइस मुझे ज़रूर दे देते हैं, जिस पे मैं काम करूँगी तो हो सकता है मैं बहुत आगे बढ़ जाऊँ। थैंक यू अंकित फॉर ऑल योर एडवाइसेस। देन वी मूव फॉरवर्ड टू वंदिता जी। और वंदिता जी से कहूँगी शी इज़ अ पर्सन ऑफ ग्रेट ह्यूमर। मेरी जब भी इनसे बात हुई है, चाहे मेरा माइंड कितना भी टफ हो, कुछ हो, या आई एम वेरी सैड, शी मेक्स मी वेरी हैप्पी। थैंक यू वेंडी फॉर स्पेंडिंग सो मच ऑफ टाइम फॉर मी। एंड हमारी लास्ट हमारी पैनलिस्ट है वो है दीपाली जी। अब जब दीपाली जी से बात करेंगे तो आपको खुद पता लग जाएगा वो कैसी हैं, मुझे बताने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ने की। सो नाउ वी प्रोफेशनली स्टार्ट अवर दिस एपिसोड ग्लैमर। ओवर टू यू राधिका।
Thank you, Swati. And I'm so excited to start this topic today. I mean, it's like my extended family, I would say, Mrs. India. So it's like my honor to host you all. And let me now introduce you professionally. And I'll just share the screen because we have some very impressive introductions for everybody. So please bear a moment. So our first guest speaker is Ms. Resham Chawla. So her introduction goes like this. Love yourself first, and everything else falls into line. A charming woman doesn't follow the crowd, instead, the crowd follows her. With this strong belief and an aim towards achieving the best, Resham Chawla, an educationist, groomer, entrepreneur, and a pageant director, started a women oriented brand called Curves Alive, as she truly believes that each woman is a diva in herself and an unstoppable powerhouse of energy, positivity, motivation to start and accomplish any task given to her with full grace and vitality. She is also associated with Mrs. India as the State Director for Delhi NCR and Manhunt International Pageant as the talent partner. Ms. Resham Chawla is also the president of Rotary Club of Delhi Elegance for contribution towards weaker section of the society. So a very warm welcome to you, Resham, and we're very happy to have you here with us. Our next panelist is Mr. Ankit Nagpal. He is the director of Bang On Target PR and Media Solutions and Groom to Bloom Grooming Academy. He hosts Candid with Ankit Nagpal, which is a live series for celebrities, a PR agency which has been in existence for over a decade, specializing in media relations and has been successfully doing events pan India related to fashion, lifestyle, art, culture, music, theater, and cinema. In 2019, he started a grooming academy, Groom to Bloom by Ankit Nagpal, for all the aspiring models and for the ones who would want to be groomed in general. Mr. Nagpal is also a jury member for many prestigious pageants, judged shows with celebrities like Bipasha Basu, Ranvijay Singh, Prince Narula, Dino Moria, Govinda, Malaika Arora, and many more. Woohoo! He's also a pageant coach, a groomer for personality development, confidence building, public speaking, and stage presence. He has won many awards, including B.R. Ambedkar National Award, Arch of Excellence Award, Supreme National Excellence Award, Golden Achiever Award as a Best PR Company. He's also the advisory board member for SKA Creative Concepts and Business Count Group Network. So to know more about him, you can visit his website, www.groomtobloomacademy.com. So welcome, Mr. Nagpal. Very pleased to have you here with us.
Radhika, we are having a very disturbance from your side in live session. Live में बहुत disturbance आ रही है, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
Is it? I mean, यहाँ से तो बिल्कुल clear है. Is everybody facing the problem?
Okay.
Can I continue?
Yeah, continue.
Okay, we have next Miss Vandita Sharma. Vandita Sharma is a flight attendant by profession, makeup artist, and skincare influencer by passion. She has won the title of Mrs. Capital of India 2018 and subtitle Mrs. Popular. Wow. She chose this as it gives boundless creativity, a flexible schedule, a constant stream of interesting people, and above all, helps her to leave an impact on people. She believes self-love comes first, and if she can help someone achieve that, her mission is accomplished. So there's so much of depth in those words, Vandy, and we are very, very pleased to have you here with us. And we have next Dr. Rita Gangwani. Dr. Rita Gangwani, after her successful stint in the Indian Armed Forces as lieutenant, after she hung her uniform in 1982, Rita set up her consultancy by the name of Rigos, Rita Gangwani's House of Personality Transformation. President of India awardee and honored by World Book of Records, she has earned her laurels as a well-known motivational speaker, personality transformation and pageant coach of many well-known pageant winners, both nationally and internationally. To name a few, Miss Teen Universe Srishti Kaur, Mrs. India Universe Dr. Neha Tyagi, youngest Mr. India Laksh Chaudhary, Miss Deaf World Vidisha Balyan, and she's been a foundation coach to Manushi Chillar. With 39 years of experience in the field of grooming and pageantry, she is on the board of Miss Bhutan, Supermodel Nepal, Mr. and Miss Deaf World, Miss Team India, Mrs. Earth India, Mrs. India Queen of Substance, Mrs. India She is India, Rubaru, Mr. Miss Mrs. India, Mr. and Miss Junior India, Miss and Mrs. Plus Size, Miss Transgender, and many more national and international pageants as mentor. She's also a well-known corporate trainer. Nicknamed as Guru Cool by her students, she educates and inspires with a perfect blend of wisdom, razor-sharp insight, and humor. A multi-gifted motivational speaker, TEDx speaker, Josh speaker, author, pageant, coach, etiquette consultant, actress, author, healer, and entrepreneur, and above all, a coach who understands exactly what is holding you back from true success and how you can overcome these inner blocks. She's been honored by many prestigious awards, and the list is very long. So do visit her website to check those out. She's authored the book, The Beauty Pageant Green Room, which has been endorsed with a foreword by former Miss Universe, Sushmita Sen, and it is being appreciated worldwide. Awesome. So a very warm welcome to all of you. And I would like Miss Deepali ma'am to kindly introduce herself. I'm sorry, ma'am, I've lost one slide. So if you could just, introduce yourself, please. She is my mentor, I would say, and she's the director of Mrs. India Pageants and Productions Private Limited. So welcome, ma'am.
दीपाली मैम, वी कांट हियर यू, आपको अपने आप को अनम्यूट करना होगा। और दूसरा ये है, राधिका, आपको स्लाइड शो बंद करना है।
Yeah.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. It's such a pleasant day to see all of you. So I know most of you personally. So it's really nice to see all of you. So about me, I think I would just say I just like to enjoy my life. I'm Mrs. India Pageant's director, but that is just a part of me as my life. I love traveling. I love food. I've been a corporate woman all my life, and in last 1 decade is what I have accidentally came to the pageantry. But I would say it is not just a pageantry; it's all about the personality and bringing difference in the life of the people is what I like to see. I like to meet people. I like to travel, and I think we as an Indian, I would like to express or bring the Indian woman on international platform because I feel any society is being judged by how strong is their woman. And it's a wrong narration about the Indian woman that she's so weak and she's been oppressed and blah, 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 which is definitely not true. So my all purpose of having a Mrs. India is celebrating a womanhood and just, making difference to the people and the coming generations.
Awesome, awesome, Dipali ma'am.
So welcome once again officially
Thank you.
to all of you and the Pali ma'am. So I'm jumping straight into the questions and starting the conversation and opening the forum to you all.
Sure.
So yeah. So my first obvious question is that I want your perspective. You are all gurus in your, this pageantry field, and I would like to know from you all that what is your perspective or take on this new kind of, pageant that has come up for married women, where we are overruling that hourglass shape and that tall and zero size, etc. So yeah. So do we start with Deepali ma'am?
Yeah. See, the whole purpose of me starting Mrs. India, because of course we were the first one to start, as a preliminary for the international patents. So when I started, my whole purpose was basically give a freedom to a woman from the cage of, of her physicality, objectification of a woman. So when we speak about the woman empowerment, I think the first thing we as a society, what we should do is free her from her objectification, right? So if you're going to tell that your worth is only about your physicality, she's never going to express herself. She's never going to showcase to the world what she is, because all she has to concentrate is on how she's going to look, right?
Absolutely.
So that is the very purpose, So now there are a few things which are not in your hand, right? Like if you go to the hilly areas, the people are not tall. It is their genetics, right? So if you go in Haryana, all people are tall. So if you're going to decide the worth of a woman on her height, then you are going to miss a lot of talent from the places that doesn't match into the physicality. So the first thing is that you have to free a woman from her physical aspects is the all purpose when I started that we are going to celebrate the beauty in diversity. So if you see when we started, it was very clear that I'm woman eternally beautiful, right?
Wow.
So you cannot tell that, that just because this woman has crossed 40 age of her life, she's no more good for the society. So you cannot decide that. If we see all the successful women, now I look at any woman or any person as their ability to return to the society, right? So if you see all the successful women, you see Oprah Winfrey, you see Indira Gandhi, you see all the successful women, Indra Nooyi, they may not fit into the definition of beauty, but they are making difference to the society, right?
So true.
So if you look at the married women, who is taking care of your family? It is the married women. Who is growing your kids? It is the married women. Who is working nowadays? It's a married woman. And who is paying taxes, right? So the younger generation is still consuming from the society. Their parents take care of their expenses. They are using all the services that the government is providing, the education and everything. So why we are not celebrating the person, the entire community, I will say, as a woman who is actually making difference to the society. And if we are going to keep her inside the cage of her physicality, then
Right.
definitely, everyone is not going to express themselves. And it's
So
very
true.
unfair to decide anyone's worth. Of course, you have to be presentable. Yes, you have to be. Do you have
Yes.
to be healthy? Yes, you have to be. Because as an ideal person, you cannot be obese and then start speaking about the diabetes, right?
Right.
You have to be fit, you have to be presentable. You do not know how to speak, you do not know how to match with the costumes, because pageantry itself is a Western concept. So you cannot say that, I'm not going to do whatever you want. And then you're confusing yourself. So all
Right.
these things are very important. But when
Yes.
we say no size, no anything, it's basically giving her the freedom.
It's
And
giving her the wings, basically. It's
yeah,
giving her the wings to express. So I would like to ask the gentleman here, the only gentleman amongst us, Mr. Nagpal. I mean, how do you view this? What is your perspective on this new pageantry?
Thank you so much, Radhikka, for the question. Deepali ma'am has more or less said what, my point would have been, but I'll give you another perspective to it.
Yes.
So, I started in 2011 when I did start in the sense I did my first pageant on Mrs. Category. When I had done in 2011, I had done a PR for it.
Mhm.
So, I was really amazed to see how the women on the stage, they were so confident, whereas they were coming from a background which they had never come on the stage. And
Okay.
it was amazing to see them. There are times when I personally feel they are homemakers, they are involved in other things, and they do not get that time to live their dreams. Somewhere in there, they want to, explore themselves in this profession. If they want to get into modeling, if they want to get into onto that stage, sometimes you see that they don't have the support from their family. Sometimes they don't have support, from their parents or, their in-laws or however. My perspective is that this whole new concept has changed that. There are people I've come across during my grooming sessions in the Mrs. category. When they actually share their heart out, they speak about their issues, they speak about, sometimes when probably their husbands or their families, they've not allowed them to come there. Allowed is the word which I do not agree with, but they have come out there. They probably would have fought initially, they would have probably gone against them, they would have probably tried to convince them. But by the end of the show, what is amazing is when I see the family sitting there. What I
Yeah.
like is that when they are there and the support that they get there, I love that. That's the part when I enjoy the most. When
Wow.
probably when the I'm telling you, I've met the in-laws who've come and shared their heart out and said, हमें नहीं लगा था that ये ऐसे कर पाएंगी, हमें नहीं लगा था कि वो स्टेज पे जाके she will win the crown. क्यों नहीं लगा था? क्योंकि वो initially that phase when they were not ready for it, they never could understand the concept. Now, when I'm telling you in 2011, I remember I did PR for one concept. Deepali ma'am has been doing it for several years. Now, the beauty of it is that there are so many pageants who are doing in the Mrs. category. So there is a wide kind of a thing. People have experiences that they can go to this pageant, they can do that. Of course, I don't want to discuss the authenticity of it. There are many who are not authentic, but many are, and of course, they are reputed name like Deepali ji is here. But I don't want to discuss on that topic. The main thing that was my perspective of it is that the mindset has changed over this time, over all these years, which is wonderful, which is something I really, really admire and I like. I think it is a great platform for all the women who want to live their dream, want to come out. They may not want to get into the pageantry industry in future. They may not want to get into modeling, but just that platform, I'm telling you, have changed lives of so many women in the country or generally over the world. Probably I've had experiences even internationally, I've heard, and it's amazing how I see to it. That's my perspective of it. Thank you, Radhika, for the question.
I'm an example for that. Yeah. So, Dr. Rita, I would like to ask you now, since you have, experienced so many different pageants. So, what's your take on that?
Well, I completely agree with Deepali ji and Ankit. I mean, they have actually covered the whole thing. But when you look at my perspective, I would say that in the Mrs. category, we are not looking for models. We are
Right.
looking for role models. Role models.
Yes. Yes.
You see, because as Ankit was saying, most of the women are playing multiple roles, you know, and after marriage, when the women actually see themselves, you know, there is a saying in Hindi, I would want to repeat that. It says, engagement hui आधी गई, शादी हुई पूरी गई, बच्चा हुआ मर गई. So this is what happens to women. You know, the moment they have children, they feel life has come to an end. अब क्या सुंदर लगना है, अब क्या करना है, and in the bargain, sometimes they lose out on their self-esteem. Sometimes children themselves tell their mothers, आप मेरे स्कूल मत लाना, बाकी मम्मी इतनी सुंदर बन के आती है, आप क्यों नहीं आते? So somewhere or the other, this awakening in the women, and there was no opportunity before this. Before the Mrs. contest, there was no opportunity for women who were married to get into it. But look at this beautiful concept that not only married women, but we have all kinds of categories. We have women who walk in, the ones who are widowed, the ones who are single parents, the ones who are separate, and even transgender women. So we are in diversity and inclusion. You know, that has happened with the Mrs. contest. And a beautiful thing is that life comes in all shapes, sizes, heights, and weights, and that's what makes life beautiful. So yes, my concept is that in Mrs. we are not looking for models. So yes, fitness is important, beauty is important, charisma is important, presence is important. Those are the skills which can be learned. They are not some people are not born with it. You learn them, and if you have them, then I think you should come out of your, you know, as she said, Deepali said, you know, that you need to feel free, get out there, get into these pageants. And as Ankit said, maybe they don't want to get into this industry in future, but this is something which is actually going to teach them a lot about life. It'll give them freedom and a lot of self-confidence. So that's my take. Not models, but role models. Thank you.
Absolutely, and very beautifully put. And I think it was one of our taglines for Mrs. India Pageants and Productions, which said that we are not looking for models, we are looking for role models. And that is what had caught my eye, and I had applied at that point of time. Yeah. So now I come to you, Resham. What's your perspective? I mean, you have actually, you know, you have been conducting these shows and events. So how do you see them?
Hi Radhikka, hi everyone, and thank you so much for this beautiful question, Radhikka, which is there in each and every woman's mind these days.
Right.
Because as Rita ma'am truly said that it's not very long ago that we started with the Mrs. pageants, and it's the most beautiful platform a married woman can get. Beauty in diversity, yes, I've learned this thing very well from Deepali ma'am. And as she has put, weight, height, age, either you're a divorcee or you're a single mother, it doesn't matter at all. And it's just that you have to bring up your own talents. The skills are already there. You have to just find that platform, go to that platform, and there are so many good groomers all sitting in front of us. So just to come out with those talents. That's why in all the Mrs. contests, there are so many good talent rounds we conduct. Then there's so many good workshops to groom them even better, because there's so many apprehensions from the different kind of backgrounds what they come from. It's like whenever as a pageant director, as a events organizer, whenever I used to receive those calls, they the kind of questions they used to put up was like, what if you don't give us a proper dress to walk? So that all depends, because once you're scrolling down the social media and you come across a beauty pageant happening in your city for 40 plus women or for 50 plus women, there is something clicks in that woman's mind, just to make a call and make sure that what is it all about. So, and then after listening to the people that, if we always try to make them comfortable. that it's okay, even if you cannot speak in English, or at times, even if you go for international pageants, there are contestants which are coming from all over the world who speak in their own language, so their own mother tongue. So even if you're answering back in Hindi, that's okay. That's that would be in fact more on your score. Then about the height, about the weight, they're always they have this fear कि हम कहाँ पे दिखेंगे, हम कैसे walk करेंगे and all. So once they enroll with us, once we have to first thing is we have to make them comfortable. Then second thing is, like, as a organizer, I have to make sure that I have proper groomers for them, which because I've also been through this journey and I had some excellent groomers grooming me. So Ankit is the very first example. And so that's why we just need to make them comfortable. We need to, bring out that qualities which are hidden in them. Because, getting married, Rita ma'am ने जैसे कहा कि ऐसे लगता है कि अब तो life ही खत्म हो गई है. So then you complete your family, your kids start growing up, then you don't have anything else to do, and you come across such a pageant. So obviously, each woman has this thing in herself that she wants to look beautiful. She wants, the family and friends to compliment them. So this is the best platform to, in fact, teach them on their own grooming part also.
So true, so true. So now the very gorgeous Vandy, I mean, you won the crown, and I would like to hear from you. What perspective did you have, or do you have now after participating?
Thank you so much, Radhikka. So firstly, I want to thank my mentors who of course, my very favorite groomer was Ankit. So thank you so much, Ankit, for what you taught us. And I want to thank Jain and Karan. They are part of Mrs. Capital of India. And so, you know what, I agree with Rita ji when she said that women think ki shaadi ho gayi, matlab sab khatam ho gaya. But I don't think so, because the show should not stop for a woman. I mean, many of the ladies out there have this dream, of seeing the crown on their head. And once they are married, they have lost that chance. That's what we thought. And then there is education, children, every tick in the personal graph meant like there's a slimmer chance of a shot at showbiz. But it's a great thing, because now if you put aside your life and responsibilities and you want to do something for yourself, this is the best platform to do that. And a lot of women come here looking for a crown, but that's not what I was looking for. Like I was looking for grooming. I wanted to groom myself to be a better person, I would say. Also explore where you come out a winner. And you should think that how you can inspire women by winning this contest and be able to give back to society. So that was my main reason why I wanted to be in this. And I thought I had lost that chance, because now I'm a mother, or, maybe I'm not thin enough. So it was so beautiful that we had this curvilicious category. And of course, I was not at the thinnest, and I still wanted to be part of the contest. And this gave me a platform to go and try out there. That yes, it's not just about size 0. It's just not about being slim. A woman can be beautiful even if she is in a plus size, or there is so much more that she can give out with her personality. And I think that's what the judges saw. And I just loved my win. So that's my perspective. Thank you so much.
Radhika, you are on mute.
Sorry. So I was saying that heartiest congratulations, Vandy, and your crown is looking very beautiful, and so are you. Great. Okay, so so when like all of you've given your perspective, but one thing is that then how do you do the judging? I mean, this is basically for the ones who sit in the judges panel. So how do you do the judging? How do you decide who's going to be the winner? As Vandy has said, that she has also not participated in a in a platform where it wasn't about an hourglass figure. How do you kind of decide, Resham?
Radhikka, I think we must ask Rita ji and Deepali ma'am and Ankit, because I haven't been in jury much.
Okay, all
But
right.
yes, there are a few points which every pageant has their own. This is what I believe. Like maybe a few points for a talent, few points for the walk, few points for their introduction. So it's a whole thing. But I think my groomers would answer this better.
The ones who've been in the jury, please. I mean, Rita ji, please.
Okay, well, जहाँ तक जजमेंट की बात आती है, see, a pageant is a pageant. It's a competition. Just because married women are competing doesn't mean that the rules will have to be, relaxed. Rules basically remain the same. We all have a sheet in front of us where we have columns for, let's say, presentation, confidence, and how she walks, and presence of mind, question and answers, communication skills, talent, a whole lot of things are there. Yes, but in Mrs. Pageant, people are not very tough on them. If you look at the Miss India pageant, they're very tough. You have to wear a specific size of heel, specific style of walk, and everything is there. But in Mrs. we realize, that everybody's body is different. Most of them are married, most of them have their children, maybe some of them have medical conditions, they cannot wear heels. So rules are relaxed as far as judgment on those criteria is there. So they are allowed to wear maybe wedges if they feel comfortable, or flats if they want to feel comfortable. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to wear a dress which they tell you, because if the lady is not comfortable and the in-laws and the husbands are going to be there and the lady is not comfortable in a dress, the director understands, and then they do give some leeway out there. Okay, they might give them some different kind of a dress to wear. So as far as the rules are concerned, they remain the same. Little relaxations on different categories definitely given. And of course, we are not very harsh on married women, at least the ones where I am attached. We are not harsh on them with their question and answers, because we cannot expect them to be encyclopedia. And as it is, they are playing multiple roles in their house. We can't expect them to know their general knowledge and current affairs and everything so well like the other pageants. So even the questions are more related to them as mothers, as wives. Those are certain things which are different as far as the judgment is concerned. But the basics always remain the same, because these criteria are a must for a pageant, and unless they don't fall into them, it's difficult to pick up a winner. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you.
Radhika,
Okay, so Ankit, would you
unmute
like
yourself.
to? Yeah, I have unmuted. So can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is still going on. So I wanted Ankit to answer that. Would you like to add on something to that?
Yeah, sure. Why not, Radhika? Firstly, thank you, Vandita and Resham, for those kind words of appreciation. You make us all proud, and in specific to me, I would say, because I've got the chance to groom you both. And I see you both here, one with a crown, one so well groomed. Resham, you spoke so well. So, firstly, that. And secondly, most importantly, wonderful, Swati, for this topic. I think this is something which everybody wanted. This is a topic that everybody should hear about, and we must discuss about it openly. And Radhika, you're doing a fabulous job. So coming on there, the question that you asked me, Radhika, is the fact that, as Rita ma'am very rightly said, that for me, a winner or my judgment is an overall judgment. So, and the rules are the same, absolutely right, as Rita ma'am said. So for me, I cannot, if somebody in the Mrs. category has come up and given a great answer and shown her confidence or her stage presence or how spontaneous she is in my answer, in my question, and she's answered it well, that doesn't make a winner. It's an overall personality where we look at communication, stage presence, confidence, how are they walking, how are they presenting themselves, how is their attitude. In fact, you will not believe the fact that even before the show, when we do these grooming sessions, or we do other sessions, or there are other groomers who come and take sessions, that's also the time when we do notice that how their attitude has been, how have they been, even for that matter, even their discipline, for that matter. If there is somebody who you'll find every day coming late to the session or not coming to the session, that makes a huge difference even at the end. So it is not just about being present on that stage and performing. I don't think so. I think it's an overall performance, which is pre-show, during the show, of course, post show, they are well groomed, and I don't expect them to be, coming out of their all that they've learned. So they are a they're a different person altogether when after the show. That's what I said in my opening remarks. So that is my perspective. It is not just about that. Also, I think the narrative does change after the pageant. When they start seeking up for, if they want to go ahead in the modeling field, the narrative does change when they come and they start getting into projects. When they get, then definitely there are different requirements. If somebody who's looking out for a certain kind of a model, or a face or a role model, or somebody to be on their cover page or their catalog, and depends on the product also. So definitely, the narrative does change. For example, and this is again for Miss or Mrs. also, that if you have a great height, there are more chances that you're going to get more ramp shows. If you are somebody who's not very tall, that does not make you the fact that you cannot get into modeling. I want to change that logic also here today when I'm speaking. A lot of people feel height नहीं है, sir modeling कैसे करेंगे? नहीं, उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Definitely आपका आपका प्रोजेक्ट चेंज हो सकता है, आपका नैरेटिव चेंज हो सकता है, आपका काम चेंज हो सकता है. आपका, if you don't have a great height, you can do print shoots, you can do catalog shoots, you may not be able to be on the ramp. For sure, I agree, on like international or big shows, they definitely need a certain height and they have a criteria. And let's kind of respect that, because that's the way it should be. See, garments, at the end of the day, I always say models are mannequins at the end of the day. So if a designer has worked for several months, there are designers I don't want to name, have worked for several months on a garment, and finally they want it to be on a model who should do justice, to what they have created. So it's their choice eventually how they want to do it, but that's where I think. And then when you have models or Mrs. categories, or even Miss for that matter, who are plus size. Why just Misses? Yeah, even Miss category, they are plus sizes. And there are so many brands now which are on plus sizes. So many brands I know, so many designers who are only and promoting plus size, garments, and that's where we need those models to come and showcase. So I think it's wonderful how it is, and it's really nice that I started with my opening remark, and that's my point on it.
Wow, thank you so much. And my question from this part only, I would ask you, Vandy, that how's your journey been so far, after you won the crown?
So, the journey, like I said, I was here to build myself and feel more strong. But I would say there are few things that I have learned. That is, firstly, is the empowerment through discipline. Of course, my dad was in the Air Force, so I did have a lot of discipline coming through him. So, like Ankit said, yes, I always used to be the first one showing up for the grooming sessions. There were some who wouldn't show up, some were sleeping. And yes, I like my morning sleep as well, but I knew when I have to be on time, I have to be on time. And that was important. And it was part of him judging us with that, right? And then the courage to try new things. That courage. I had certain kind of inhibition ki main kar paungi, nahi kar paungi, to take up my passion as a makeup artist or to actually be on social media. And I remember how Ankit used to teach us. Main abhi tak yaad hai mujhe. He used to tell us ki is time pe post dalna chahiye. He had gone to that detail, and I have not forgotten that, Ankit. So today, when I am an influencer, so that these are the things you carry forward, but you have to be there, you have to be present. I learned to improve my stage presence. I had never walked the ramp before, but if I have to be on social media, even that is a stage, that is a larger stage. So how to behave, how to talk, what are the words, those things. So and of course, in my journey, I've become a makeup artist, I've become a skin influencer, I started doing live shows, and I take some celebrity live shows, and of course, major presence on social media, and taking care of my health. That is something. When I got this self-esteem that even being a curvaceous person, I could win my crown, that although that was due to some health issues that I was not able to work out. But after this, it gave me the motivation that no, nothing is going to stop you. So I started working out, and that, of course, for my health, and that is much better. So that is the journey that has made me as a person. So
Right.
it's not only about getting any assignment or modeling or anything. Me as a person has evolved so much thanks to my win, I think. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So, Resham, my question to you is that how come you never participated? I mean, such a gorgeous lady, and you've been missing from the pageants.
Okay, so Radhikka, thank you so much for the compliment first. And yes, honestly, I did participate.
Oh, really?
Yes, many
Wow.
people
हमें
know
तो पता ही नहीं है. छुपे
that.
रुस्तम हो आप.
I did. But then, even before participating, it was a Delhi-based pageant, and it was also a very new concept done by my another mentor, Kavita Malhotra ji. And even before, when I stepped into it, I had something in mind to start organizing pageants. And there I was in the first 8 contestants. I also won this title of Mrs. Impressive Persona, which again gave my confidence a boost up. Then I just, when I entered into it, I had this thing in my mind that I have to do something for married women. I have to organize my own pageant. And that was again a very different concept that time when I started in 2015, 16, I wanted to make a transformation, to show a transformation journey of a woman. Same as today we can see Vandy at this platform with a beautiful crown, winning in a curvaceous body. So even as my brand name suggested that time, it is Curves Alive, and I wanted to add glam and fitness together on stage.
Awesome.
So that was my journey. And when I started, I knew I have to get into a pageant first, and I need to, see how it works. And that time I myself needed grooming, which I'm thankful to all the groomers in that pageant, especially Ankit. That was the platform I met him for the first time, and Rita ji and all. So, this thing was in my mind to start again. As you know now, that I already participated in a pageant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
So, and working on those lines only, all my pageants have been the same way, with the best of groomers, and even in Mrs. India and Manhunt, everywhere. So yes, I was there, and still I have my sash of Mrs. Impressive Persona.
That you are. Undoubtedly, you are. I'm a great fan of yours.
Thank you so much.
So, is Deepali ma'am there? Because I can't see her on the screen. Is ma'am there?
Radhika, she is there, but we can't see you. आपका सिर्फ camera switch off है. But
Oh,
yeah, Deepali is there. Yeah.
okay, okay, okay. Right. So, Deepali ma'am, I would like to ask you that, how do you see the Indian contestants on the international platform vis-a-vis the other contestants from the other countries? The married women, basically.
Yeah, see, I think more than me, you would be able to answer this question better, Radhika, because, of course, I am being a jury on international pageants, that's for sure. But, when I look at Indian married women on international pageant, I must say that Indian women is very dominating on international pageant, right? Because Indian women is very learned. They like you yourself have been on the international platform, and the experience of no matter what scale of national pageant is when it goes to the international level. I mean to say truly international. Nowadays it's a trend of using word international and just doing somewhere into in some place where there is nobody else, only one country is participating. So I'm talking about truly an international pageant, right? So there, Indian women dominates because I can say with full confidence because I'm been the participant and now to the organizer, to the jury, right? So in the entire this journey of me onto the married women's pageant, I've noticed that Indian women is very dominating in terms of her knowledge. They're very learned, they're very highly qualified. So even when it's come for the communication skills, speaking in English is generally considered as a wow. No matter how many times we try to say that it's not about everything about English, but still so there will be countries, they must be coming from Japan, coming from whatever the places, but they are not able to express themselves. But Indian women is very strong on that. The advantage of Indian women on international platform is our diversity. What we have as an Indian, as a person, the diversity. I'm sure nobody else in the world have. So that is such a big advantage, and everyone loves the Mrs. India. Every time I have seen in the pageant, all the eyes are always on Mrs. India, and the proof is that in Mrs. India, I think we are the only pageant who have won all the international pageants, be it the Planet or Tourism or whatever the Asia International. We have always won because if you ask for a talent, nobody else in the world can dance like Indians do. Be it a wedding, be it a Ganesh festival, whatever, we are there dancing, right? So whenever it comes for communicating or interacting with the people, Indian women always dominate. They take them out for sightseeing. They keep the music. It is other people might do some little bit salsa or some steps, but it is the Indian women who just they will raise their hands and they start dancing. The singing is such a big classical advantage. So in every perspective, we dominate in expressing ourselves, and definitely into the national costumes round. If you see others, they might come with a huge attire or maybe something very eye-catchy, but when it comes for the meaning, it doesn't matter how small is your costume. What all it matters is what is the message your costume is giving, right? So you just take any costume of Mrs. India, simple as sari or any, there is a story behind it, right? So this is always an advantage for Indian women, Indian married women especially, because they are very good in working. They know how to handle, if you throw them in a traveling, they know how to travel on themselves. They go alone. If you see any, Radhika has been onto the international platform, you know how these international contestants come. They come with their makeup artists, they come with their crew, they come with, it is like they need people behind them to push them up, But when Mrs. India goes, she goes with one bag, she have her makeup, she have her things with her. She might have struggled her life to reach there. And and she know how to do everything. 10 o'clock, the other ladies are still getting ready, though they have support. Mrs. India will be there on the time, So when it comes to Mrs. category on international platform, I think there is no one as perfect as Mrs. India, And when I say, I would like to say costumes message, about Radhika, because I really like when it comes to the giving message through your national costume or whatever you're wearing. When Radhikka went in, everyone was thinking, why she was wearing very simple dress, but nobody noticed the strength of message that Radhikka was wearing. Radhikka was wearing a Haryanvi dress, and she had a girl doll in her hand, and Save Girl Child is such a need of time. It was just a single doll in her hand that gave the message. Other ladies, they must have come with their wedding attire and maybe lakhs, 2 lakhs, whatever. But that did have the soul that Radhika's costume had, and these stories, this diversity you find only in India, and I think that's why Indian married women is the best on international platform.
No, thank you so much.
I would like to add to what Deepali ji said, that Indian women is actually groomed from her house itself.
Yes.
Because you see, most of the Indian women is doing household work, so they are getting exercise and carrying stuff on their head, so they as it is get that curvaceous body. And moreover, people in the Western world are putting bronzes and all to look dusky, but we have that chocolatey brown, beautiful complexion.
Yes.
But one thing through this platform, I would like to actually tell most of the Indian women that they are somewhere very apprehensive that they will not win because they have dusky skin. Remember, we Indians are supposed to have dusky skin. We cannot get obsessed by, putting stuff to look fairer and fairer. And I get so many married women who come to me saying, ma'am, मैं थोड़ी सांवली हूँ, मेरा होगा कि नहीं होगा. अरे सांवली doesn't matter. This is what we are. People are dying to look like us. And you will definitely stand out internationally. And because of the household work, it's like you don't need to go to gym. You've already done your 10,000 steps plus at home. So it's wonderful for the married women. As Deepali ji said, the world is open to you. So come out of your comfort zone and just experience this beautiful pageantry world. And I assure you, people sitting all out here would agree with me that it is something which is absolutely going to change your life and your perspective of looking at what beauty is. There was time when beauty was measured, physically, but now beauty is measured in a whole lot of stuff, as Ankit said, that it's the wholesome personality which is checked. So it's extremely important. Accept yourself, your color, your diversity, and step out and see. You will be shocked to see that, oh my God, I never thought that I'll make it, and you will definitely make it. Well, thank you.
Yeah, wonderful put.
True.
So
I
that
just
is
want
what,
to say something that I learned from Rita ma'am today. कि अब से मुझे घड़ा उठा के पानी भरने जा. That's when I'll get my curvilicious body.
It's not necessary कि घड़ा उठा के जाना है, but majority of the girls, they come from the village background. They've seen their moms do it. They help their moms. And so many of ladies, they do their household jobs themselves, pocha lagana, stuff like that. As it is, they get so much of stuff done on themselves, on their own. So girls who come to me, even for Miss India, some girls come to me from very remote areas who have no household help. They do everything on their own. चूल्हे से खाना बनता है, all that stuff. And they have to actually walk afar to get water, to get wood for fuel for their house. And those girls, and they can't speak a word in English, but I have to instill that motivation into them, that it just does not matter. So what I was just trying to say is that most of the Indian women we are from very humble backgrounds, middle class people, they don't have household help to help them. They do everything on their own. And because of that, and especially the jharu pocha stuff and all that stuff, they do actually get a lot of good workout. And now even people from affluent families have realized, I see so many of my friends get बैठ के पोचा मुझे लगाना है, पेट अंदर करना है, So this is how, we are actually picking up what people do outside, and that is something which really makes Indians. Right. Thank you.
Yeah. So,
Vandita, just a trigger warning, huh? Don't get the ghada and jhadu on the stage.
I know.
Unless there is a theme.
Absolutely, that's not for the stage.
I would like to say one point. Yeah, one point about Rita ji, okay, about the skin tone. Of course, I doesn't come into the white skin tone. So, of course, I also, initially, I had this thing in my mind. And when I went to the international pageant, right, so we were rushing to get ready, doing the makeup and all. and I was in Chicago. It was in USA that time. Okay, so I went to the washroom. The washrooms, they are open from top and bottom, right? So there was like constant noise, I was like, what's happening? And why there's so much of this sound is coming in the bathrooms, right? And I just turned down to see what is basically happening. So they had these big, huge sprays of tanning, and they're tanning their entire body. And when they came out, they're like darker than me. And I was like, seriously, I have come to the United States to look like them. And what they're trying, keeping such a huge space, the size of spray was this big. I mean, I was bigger than the what hairspray we have, right? And when we were standing in a queue, and there was I think Mrs. Georgia, from the Georgia, she came, and she was trying, oh my God, my husband have told me that it's okay, you look still beautiful, you don't have to tan yourself and harm yourself. I was like, in India, we are harming ourselves to fair and lovely. We don't go out in sun, and she's so sad that her husband said, it's okay, darling, you can look white and you're still beautiful. So I think it's all about we want to achieve what we are not.
I think it's grass is always greener on the other side. It's always like that. Yeah. So yes, and since we
I
brought
just remembered when Rita ji said, and as Rita ji said, at one point I would say, and because of this, I will call body shaming. There's so many women who are not happy with themselves. There is one contestant who came to our pageant, and she literally cried. She is from Delhi, and she's married in a Punjabi family. So she's been tortured for being dark, the Kali Kali and all. And the whole purpose of her participating is to tell them that I'm beautiful, She literally cried, and I felt so bad about it that, how can anyone can do this? So, that is also one of the reasons we should remove all these cages of objectification.
Yes. So since we've brought in some little humor also, so Ankit, I would like to ask you, you must have had some kind of, weird or funny incident at some point of time. So would you like to share anyone?
Yes, absolutely. There have been so many, Radhika.
I'm sure. As Deepali ma'am just shared one.
But of course, because we have time limitations, I'll just probably share quickly. But good to see you back on screen. Your camera wasn't in there.
I didn't know. I thought I'm like not coming in the screen only. So okay. Anyway,
no, but good to see the transformation. I've seen the transformation in you, which is wonderful. So it's always nice to see you on screen. Yeah, Radhika, there've been plenty of things actually. I remember that. I've often been complimented for my voice. So whenever I'm on the stage and I have a mic with me, so whenever I come down, I'll actually have people to come to me from the audience who'll, praise me for my voice, and they'll say, you have a great voice. But the funnier bit is there are incidents that I'll quickly tell you. So for example, I remember when I was taking a session in the grooming session. So I had actually, somebody had asked me this question. Now, this is a tip I'm now sharing openly. So, somebody had asked me this question saying that, sir, हमसे जब question पूछते हैं तो एकदम से कभी जवाब नहीं सूझता. What should we do at that point in time? Because actually we are checking how spontaneous they are. But they say कि कभी-कभी हमसे, you ask us a question and sir, उसी वक्त नहीं आता जवाब क्या देना है, तो क्या करेंगे? We are on the stage. What should we do? So I give them a hack, like I give them a trick. So I told them that I said, एक काम आप ये कर सकते हो, that when you come on the stage, there are times when you've heard the question, ठीक है, but you can always say that, sir, sorry, we could not hear the question. If you could please repeat yourself. So by the time you do that, आप question पहली बार में सुन चुके हो, but you are buying time basically. So by the time the question is being repeated, the contestant can think about the answer. अब मैंने ये टिप दे तो दी, अब सारे जब स्टेज पे आए, अब एक के बाद एक ये होने ही लग गया. पहले हर कोई कह रहा रिपीट करो, one, then second, then third. Then I realized there is something wrong. Probably they've all taken it. This is just a cause when you can do it when one in 5 contestants can do this probably, but हर कोई यही कर रहा है. That's the time I picked up the mic and I openly said it. I said, guys, I gave you a trick and a tip. Do not do that on the stage. And all the contestants I could see had this big smile on the stage because probably जो करने भी वाले थे अब वो फंस गए. So they had to start getting up, get their confidence up there and think that now you have to really answer that. Second, one more quick incident that I'll share was that, one contestant I remember had won. So I am known as the bad man, by the way, to ask questions. I know I have three contestants here whom I judged in the same platform to ask questions which are very tricky, or they are funny, or they can put you in a spot. So I remember there's one contestant who won the show and came down, and later I was told by him, this is from a male Mr. category, had come and told me this, and there were other contestants supporting that statement, that he was praying कि अंकित सर के पास मेरा क्वेश्चन ना आए. But वही हुआ, unfortunately, bad luck probably or good luck, but he won. He won that pageant, which was wonderful. So when I say they win, I just want to say one more thing over here. After the funny bit, on a lighter note, I want to say one thing is that, it is the willpower eventually at the end of the day. When you're on stage, it is not about if you're a winner or or you've not won. For me, I always say each and everyone on the stage is a winner in some way or the other, in some walks of life. They've come, they've struggled, they're there, they're fighting something within themselves or outside, whatever it may be. Everybody is a winner, I say. There may be somebody who's got the crown, who may one way may not have got the crown. But there are incidents when I have met a contestant after 3 years, who has won the pageant and has done nothing in life, because that person has just sat down and thought, I won it, I'm the winner, good enough, projects mere paas aa jayenge and I will do it. That's not the way it works. And I have met people who have not won anything, not even I'm telling you, not even anything for any tag, any sash, anything probably, but they are doing wonders in the industry. So it is amazing when I see that. It is actually the willpower, and I'll tell you a lot of things, and it's learning is knowledge is a process. It's unstoppable. You have to keep you have to go with a mindset in life, and you're just learning. I'm still learning. I have been associated with Deepali ji. I've learned so much when she's taken sessions. Rita ma'am, I openly say and I always say she is my mentor. There's only one person in the industry I call my mentor is Rita ma'am. And she probably doesn't even know there are times when she's taking grooming sessions and I'm quietly sitting and I'm like, those backbenchers जो चुपके से दूसरी क्लास में चले गए हैं सीखने के लिए. So I've done that with Rita ma'am and I've learned so much. And when I judge shows with Rita ma'am on the same platform, it is an honor for me. So these are things that you learn in time, with time, and I think it's amazing. I've learned, it's if there is an art of speaking, there is an art of listening. So these
Right.
are little things that you learn in time, and I think I've had a great journey, great time, judging pageants and shows, and I've got great, I've experiences there, and I learned from the contestants as well. So yeah, that's
Awesome.
my bit which I wanted to share. And yes, back.
Wonderful. Yeah, awesome. And it's been great listening to all of you. We are overshooting time. So I think I would like to hand over back to Swati. If the audience have any questions, they can please direct the questions. So, Swati, over to you.
Thank you, Radhika. It was awesome listening to you all because mainly Radhika is from the same background, but for me it's very different and it was a great learning for me. एंड मुझे अंकित की जो बात थी कि जो टिप दी थी उसको सुन के मतलब इट वाज समथिंग वेरी न्यू फॉर मी एंड प्लस आई फील कि ऐसी टिप्स चाहिए भी क्योंकि आप जो हो एकदम से आप आंसर नहीं कर सकते हो बट देयर शुड बी सम टिप्स फॉर दैट सो देयर आर मेनी क्वेश्चंस इन ऑन द वी वुमेन ग्रुप बट हमारा टाइम पूरा हो गया है मैं बस एक क्वेश्चन लूंगी क्योंकि उसमें मुझे बहुत इंटरेस्ट है आई जस्ट वांट टू नो फ्रॉम रीता जी कि आपका जो वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड होल्डर है आप वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड होल्डर हैं तो आप किस चीज में हैं बिकॉज आई रियली वांट टू नो और आई थिंक जो बाकी क्वेश्चंस बचे हैं उनके लिए वी कैन हैव सम अदर सेशन बट रीता जी दिस वी विल लाइक टू नो क्योंकि इट्स ए ह्यूज मतलब
Honor.
रिकॉर्ड व्हाट यू हैव या सो दैट आई विल नो
Thank you very much. This is something which is very close to my heart and पूरी जिंदगी लग जाती है एक ऑनर पाने में. So I have been given the world record for grooming the maximum number of contestants from diversified age groups, heights, weights, genders, and stuff. So as you were reading my profile, whether it's transgender, plus size, baby pageants, teenagers, uh, whether wheelchair, whether deaf, whether dumb, one groomer from all over the world who has trained very diversified profiles and very challenging profiles. It is extremely difficult to train somebody who's deaf and dumb, and somebody who's absolutely blind. How do you make them understand? They're pretty. How do you make them walk? So I have actually gone through a lot of challenges, and this was noticed by the organization, and so they awarded me for that, as well as, so they gave it to me for three reasons. One is for pageantry, one is for personality transformation, because I have helped transform street children's to become TV stars and film stars. So their journey has really been very inspiring, from a street child to starting very humbly from TV serials, and together they wanted some honor for me. God is in kind, and thank you to all my students who actually helped me achieve this. And thank you, Ankit, for acknowledging me as your mentor. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
I would like to add just one line. It's such a great blessing, pleasure knowing Rita ma'am, knowing Deepali ma'am, knowing Ankit. I never knew back then, when I was into education line and all, I never knew I'll ever get into this profession, and I'll get to know all of you and get so inspired always. So it's really a pleasure knowing you all. And Vandy, knowing you is a great pleasure too. And Radhikka is my sweetheart. Yes, Deepali ma'am.
But I would like to say one thing, okay? I mean, I adore and I really treasure Radhikka, but I should never forget the route that Radhikka has come. If it would not have been Resham and Ankit, I don't think I would have been ever able to meet a wonderful person like Radhikka. Delhi is something I feel home only because of you guys. Ankit and Resham. It's a treat to see you guys today. On this live session. And Rituji, I have heard a lot from you, especially from Surbhi and Abhishek. They actually don't stop praising you. They just love you. They adore you. And, and I think you should know that how much people love you. So Surbhi and Abhishek is who, and of course you were there in Mrs. India Delhi. So please, in your next introduction, please do consider adding that in your huge forte of Mrs. Pageants. So it's really nice. I mean, I really feel good to see all of you. And of course, Resham and Ankit, hopefully I get to see you soon, the moment this
Sure. And one more thing that connects you and Delhi is Chola Bhatura. Deepali ma'am, you're forgetting that.
My first love.
Wow, so wonderful. And it was pleasure meeting my extended family, and Vandita I've known from 1993. We were flying together as cabin crew with Modilov. So it's been such a delight and honor for me to have you all here and hosting this show. And thank you a ton, Swati, for letting me do this. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rita.
Thank you, Swati. Thank you for having us.